I'm Pamela Stevens, and Raleigh invited me. She saw me follow your LinkedIn page, and she asked me to come. So it's been wonderful to be here so far, and to see more of you.
Hey, how are we doing? Good, Shannon. David Forrest invited me today. And I'm with Scott Contract and Randy, you all here.
Hi everybody, my name is Tyler Tui. I was invited out today by Tom Kelleher and short invited by David Forrest. Just enjoy getting around you guys. It's always a great group. And one of the reasons Tom invited me is something that I have $60 college. And so I just wanted to come out and see Dr. Ralls. Thank you guys for having me.
Hey everybody, I'm Mark Musicals. I was also invited by Tommy and also David as well, so we had that time. Just been really pleased with how much hospitality and friendliness and kindness we've been here. We just spoke up the office here between for a while, and we're excited about the opportunities here for the community.
Thanks for being here.
How did you do? We're in the bar for a week and you have to bring this today. And we got back here to our returning Rotary, Terry.
Thank you. Good afternoon, I'm Terry Snow. I work with SPV, we're planners, engineers, construction management. I am a former Rotarian. I had to leave the state for about a year and a half for no compete reasons when I sold my interest to another company. And so I detached myself, but you know, our community, one of our philosophy is making the communities that we serve better. And when I started thinking about that, I started thinking about the road and the values and the roles of the mission. And I think the line is very nice. So maybe we'll come back to North Carolina to ask you all. I'm very grateful to be engaged. Appreciate the opportunity to be here.
All right, Randy, I think you have a couple visitors here today. Would you like to introduce yourself?
Hi, my name is Libby Stevens. I'm the program coordinator for Housing Options for Students Today, HOST, and I was invited by Randy to come and network and meet some people and spread the word about our organization. So I'm here to talk if anybody's interested. Hi, everybody. I'm Libby, invited by Randy, Mary Basket, and also here with HOST, Housing Options for Students Today. We support college students in Wake County that are experiencing housing insecurity and homelessness. We were recently featured in this topic of the Indy. We brought some columns for everybody, so I'll leave them over on the bar. Thanks for the invitation, group.
Katie and I have been emailing back and forth, and she visited a while back, so glad to see you back here. But I have to say, while you said it was okay to come, we didn't technically invite her, but the reason I learned about it.
Jeremiah, who was the immediate past director of programs in Kenya in the West Plains chapter. And so that's how I found out about the programs. I wanted to know about the local chapter. And now he's visiting the United States for the first time. And I'm eager to hear all of these because I've been out in Kenya about a couple times now. And you know, I'm very excited to be able to share what we do here.
Cooper and I am visiting from Atlanta, and I'm here similarly to Jeremiah to be here to be part of the Rotary Club. Yeah, we all get together. I get together. I'm here to see him. I usually live in the States and be the other sponsors, so I get to hear that. So we came together here. This is something we really wanted to do with values. So the key values in it. Hear so much about what he's doing. I don't know. So well, good to be here. Thanks for coming.
I want you to introduce yourself. Will you come up with me a program quickly? Jeremiah brought a flag with him from his Rotary Club, so we're going to do a flag change as well. Jeremiah, you might say that.
Good afternoon.
My name is Jeremiah Mo from Kenya, Nairobi. I'm former director of projects Westlands, Rural Club of Westlands. I'm still living in Rotary, but started about that is my life. I'm a psychologist and a teacher working in the Friends of Love Westlands, a charity that I founded after my mom passed away a few years ago. We offer nutrition, clean water. That's why and education support. That's why I'm here to get support for the clean water for 6,000 children who are taking salt water. So I've come with a lot of business cards to make sure that I make a lot of friends. I've really been waiting to be here at Raleigh. So you guys are just
We were honored to have you here, and honored as well to provide you with our flag, as well as taking on yours. Thank you so much. Thank you so much for being here.
And all guests, welcome to everyone visiting Rotarians and guests. So I want to point something out that I love this. If a Rotarian from Kenya can bring a potential new member to this club, you have no excuse. So thank you very much. All right, John Luke, if you would please come up and tell us about membership of all things. And this is one of my very favorite days in Rotary because of inducting a new member. Matt, he's doing John Luke.
Good afternoon, everybody. Of course, my name is John Luke, and as President Eric said, today is a fantastic day as we induct Ms. Manny Marshall. Now, Abby's membership application has been reviewed and approved in accordance with our club's constitution and bylaws. We will now proceed and admit you to membership in Rotary Raleigh and friendship in Rotary Ralls. And we have a couple questions for you. So, question number one.
Will you join us as we strive to live a life above service, or a life of service above self?
And question number two.
Will you join us in our activities for service projects and fundraising activities to support our community?
And question number three, will you join us in supporting Rotary's networks worldwide, which focus on these 7 areas: promoting peace, disease prevention, providing clean water and sanitation, maternal and child health, basic education and literacy, economic and community development, and protecting the environment. And fellow Rotarians, will you join me in fostering and supporting Maddie? She joins us in the pursuit of having an audience to our community, service of self.
Yes.
Now, I'll ask Stephen sponsor Harrison here, of course, sponsors Maddie to please hit a Rotary emblem on Maddie. It is my pleasure to welcome you and induct you into the Rotary Club of Raleigh. Thank you, Steph. And Mr. Terry, he did introduce himself earlier. I do want to reiterate that he is a member of our club now. He is not just a former Rotary Raleigh visiting Rotarian. He is an awesome brand new member to our club. So we are excited to have him back here in Raleigh and looking forward to all the great stuff we're going to do. All the guests here today, we have so many guests. It's amazing. I'll be here for the next 30 or 45 minutes after the program. I'd love to meet and speak with every single one of you. We'd love to share about, again, what not only brings you to Rotary, but how we can bring that to Rotary and further strengthen the community. So with that being said, on the 25th, this Wednesday, from 5:30 to 7, we are going to have our facility here at Tobacco Road. Again, please bring snacks. You are going to the middle school teachers and out to their students. And then next month, I just want to reiterate, we have amazing Harrison Turner, who's going to host us at his place of business. If you guys are interested in hosting a service social new location, maybe a great spot downtown, please come talk to me. We'd love to have it there. And my name is John Luke, Rotary Club of Raleigh membership. Thank you so much.
Yeah, I told somebody the other day that we were having a social, they said, where? I said, at Harrison's Bank. And he said, wow, that's an impressive guy. Yeah, all right, so, we did a district assembly, last week, or this past weekend, and Nathan's here to give us an update on what transpired at that session. So Nathan, if you would join us, and then, Don, if you wanted to come up, if you could, John's on deck for service stand with crowd lights. Nathan.
Thank you, President Aaron. Good afternoon, everyone. In Kenya, I think they say Habari Zenu, so greetings to our guests from afar. Have you ever asked the question, I wish I knew a little bit more about Rotary, or has anyone asked you that question, a prospective member? President Aaron, you gave it the past year to bring new members to the club. That's exactly the type of questions we answer at a district assembly. So district assemblies happen 3 times a year. We have great speakers from all over the district, our nearly 50 Rotary clubs in the area. They give us updates on what's happening, opportunities for us to get involved, events, different things happening. So we had a great turnout for the Rotary Club of Raleigh. And we're having another event in February, and I think there'll be another one in April or May. But these are local events. They happen somewhere in our district. $5 the doors are attended for a couple hours. Really a great way to learn more about how we can use Rotary as a tool to make our club stronger and do more in our community. Hope to see you there. Thank you.
I know that I'm taking the past district governor of this district, Raleigh Rotary, and she has been our club for the last few years. He's going to be our program in several weeks. He's been doing a solar project in Uganda, helping schools have solar power to do the has to do. So a long time relationship with this club. I remember when this very first young man came to the board years ago, almost a decade ago, and started the project, and we've been working. So looking forward to that in a few weeks. With that, John's going to do fundraising and then jump over to the raffle, and then Richard.
Exciting news from the fantasy league. And then once you this card first, I next week. It raised $1,200, half of it apart to the winners. Price of about $600 here we are. Exciting news. We reached out to me the other day and social fundraising. That I can honey. Oh, this is Purpose of doing it with the whiskey tasting. Have more clarification on that. If you'd like to volunteer, we've got to meet. We're talking about the next chart, Shadow Jail, March 86. There's a story about the trolls. Trolls are really exciting. We've actually everything trolls. These are 30-foot tall trolls. They're going to come with and big for at least 10 years. Opportunity. Not just our club, but other clubs too. Find some ways to participate. Thank you, Mike. And other people can help us in terms of committees. So if you're interested in having fun and being part of a fun committee, and you're Rotary and you'd like to be part of the fundraising committee,
I think we have fun having fun here.
I'd like to share about the football thing. I think the main goal is to have problem with it. And at the end of it, I got a digital evaluation how you do. ESPN. Richard, for the visitors, we try to do a service project for Buffalo Club, led by the previous service. So, I want to start
Our project in this month of September, this Saturday, downtown, in World Garden beautification project. We still have a few more signups that we can use. You don't have to have any experience or a green thumb. So hope you can join us this Saturday and knock it out and go watch some college football afterwards. Looking ahead, in October, we will be doing our stream cleanup. Past President Tom orchestrated this. We have a portion of Lions Park that we clean up twice a year. And every time we go, it's less and less trash. I guess we're making a difference. In November, we'll be joining our friends at November Pocket and doing a sorting event, sorting and clothes that are organized, another great event. And then finally, in December, our signature bridal bell ring. And Kevin, I'm putting you on notice, I have backed up all my PTO in December. So I want to take the crown of motion this year. Let me say, thank you for your support. Again, for you visitors, this is a great way to know the club. You get to work side by side with Rotarians and see in action. So I hope you can join us. Thank you for your support.
Sounds like the gossip has been run down to the floor and Kevin, we'll see who has the most chips. That's a great job. Fantastic. All right. There was a special award this past week. And our own Shakima was here. Shane was at the Carolina Courage game and was named the Woman of the Match Award for the work that she does. Is there a slide with text on it? So. No, okay, the notice, and it was regarding the things that she does in the community, the gifts that she gives to the community, the gift of her time. Shakima doesn't just join things, she becomes things. So she joined this club and immediately said, how can I help? How can I work? And this isn't the only place she does that. So congratulations to Shakima. I think we all need to stay in and congratulate her. it's great to have such awesome members of this club. The club is the member, you said that many times. All right, so, with that, we have our red buckets on the table for the Dementia Alliance of North Carolina. They're a member of this club, drop your change or checks or, recently acquired money, Jim Graham. And we can go ahead and continue our support of that great organization. And with that, returning from Texas and glad to be back is Charlie on the job. And he has our happy Halloweens and special, very special happy Halloweens we announced at the beginning of the hour.
Thank you. Thank you. Thank you, President Eric. Good to be back with y'all. Miss y'all. Saw David Crockett out there in Texas. Y'all saw me in shorts. It's good to be. This morning I got a phone call from Braxton Wilson. And Braxton said, "Are you coming to Rotary?" I said, "Yes, sir, I'm planning on making." So I cannot come. Y'all know Braxton. Come and take it. Let me do. And he said, "Well, please make an announcement to President Eric that he's turning 40 years old. This Sunday is his birthday. 40 years old, and he wants to make a donation of $1,000 per decade or $4,000 to our Rotary Club Foundation."
I do want to plug for, if anybody's interested, the district project in March, the Dominican Republic, where we go down there for football. So I did that last year, and I'm hoping that somebody from this club will join Judy and I this year. So just keep that in mind, that this will be a planning meeting coming up in about 30 days.
Dominican Republic, here.
All right, well, this Saturday is somebody very important's birthday. I'm sorry. I am not going to be donating $1,000 per decade, so I'm not donating this year. But here's some happy dollars for our wonderful President Eric. Thank you for getting us started on a great year, great speakers, and for your leadership. Big round of applause.
Okay, I think it's worth it. No matter what you think, it's still a good day to be a Tar Heel.
All right, any other ones, Charlie? Okay, excellent. Thank you, Charlie. All right, as just was mentioned, we have our birthdays and anniversaries coming up. Let's see. Yeah, we did grab, so let's go on to the next slide. All right, so birthday Sarah, who's not with us here, so please wish her happy for us. On the 25th, Carrie mentioned my birthday's coming up, and I really embarrassed, or Brett Braxton listened to my bars. So I had to go get loans to Braxton. Braxton on the 29th, and then Susie on the 29th as well. And anniversaries, Nathan, who just spoke with us, and Rachel, we're happy there, anniversary on the 29th as well. Upcoming programs. So next week, we have Coach Paul from NC State. He is the recruiting coach there. And before you say, well, I'm not a state person, I'm a Duke person, I'm an NC person, I'm a Ohio State person, or something like that, he's not going to just talk about Wolfpack sports. He's going to talk about all this stuff going on about the transfer portal and NIL and how all that works. How many times have you heard somebody on one of the games and the starting quarterback is a 5th-year grad student? How does that work? I don't know what his thesis is. I'd really like to reach some of these theses. These grad students, right? But anyways, he's going to be here. It should be a great program, and he's bringing some of the assistant coaches with him as well. And then the highlight of the program here on the 7th, Richard Avery is going to be our speaker. He's going to talk about the great work of the American Cancer Society. He is the executive director for this region here, so that'd be very good. We have a speaker for the 14th, Christopher Columbus. We got out he's dead, so we won't be meeting that day. And then on the 21st, Buck, who is the CEO of HH Hunt Construction, a large ranging construction firm, and really visionary kind of leader. He will be here with us. And then on the 28th, Patty really is going to talk about all the work that Rotary does and how you participate in that. So a lot of great programs coming and a lot of excitement coming towards the end of the year. So with that, I'm going to turn things over to David for his introduction of our speaker, Dr. Scott Ralls. David.
Yes, sir. Thank you. Thanks, President Eric. Today we are very pleased to welcome Scott Ralls as our keynote speaker. Dr. Ralls is the former president of Wake Technical Community College, which is North Carolina's largest community college, serving approximately 70,000 students. Wake Tech is widely recognized for its economic, workforce, and student success initiatives, and is ranked as a national leader in community college online education as well. From 2015 to 2019, Dr. Ralls served as president of Northern Virginia Community College, the second largest multi-campus community college in the nation. During his time there, he developed a unique partnership with Amazon Web Services, and that partnership was actually named the 2019 Educational Partnership of the Year. He also had initiated a nationally recognized joint admission program with George Mason University, and that was actually featured on the national news on the PBS News Hour. In May of 2016, Scott was named president emeritus of the North Carolina Community College System after a prior 20-year career in North Carolina that also included being the state system president of Franklin Community College, where he somehow managed his sister, and vice president of economic workforce development. He's been recognized as a Power 100 business leader in both the Washington, D.C. region as well as here in North Carolina. So without further ado, Dr. Scott Ralls.
Hello, everybody. It's great to be with you. Got a lot of connections and colleagues, and so it's great to be with you today. And have our college attorney that's also here, Bob, somewhere around here. So that'll be very convenient if I need legal advice there. It's presentation, Bob. And they have also some student connections here. So we've already playing, but she came in, she introduced herself. She was a 2022 graduate, is that right? Wake Tech, 2021 graduate, one of our, we have a little over 1,000 veterans at Wake Tech, and she was one of our veteran students back then. So it's great to connect with her. And Tyler, who made me feel very old, he was a student at my first college, and I'm so old. He was the student body president not when I was there, 6 years after I left. So he's making me feel very old today. I did bring some colleagues with me, Matt Smith, Stephanie Lake. So they're with our Wake Tech Foundation. We have any more of those dollars you need done with before you see them out. So thank you for this time. I want to talk a little bit about Wake Tech and then just take any questions and answers. A little bit about what makes us unique. I'm very biased. I think we are a very unique college, but I want to go back and get into history. I'll tell you, because history really defined what makes us and made us unique as a college. I'll tell you about where we are today, the things that make us unique, and also where we're going. Why we're paying attention to things we're doing at Wake Tech. So, your permission, let's get moving. All right, let's look back at history a little bit. So, 1950s, North Carolina, very different place than it is today. This region was very different, and if you look at this region, in many ways, you could say it was built on higher education. Higher education had a huge impact on the growth of this area. And one way that you all know about and you hear about, and what made us a tech hub was something that we now call research trial home. Now, back in those days, this was very pioneering. Our governor, Luther Hodges, there was Corsage. He had two big ideas back in those days. He came in as governor of North Carolina. Go back and look at North Carolina in the 1950s. We were the second poorest state in the United States. We had a per capita income of only 2/3 of the rest of the nation. I like to say we have the same state model back then. As equality to be rather than to see. I love that state model. But the unofficial model in the 1950s was thank God for Mississippi. on the Mississippi Trail, North Carolina, economic. So Governor Hodges' two strategies, two ideas, really did it together, higher ed and the economy. The first was this crazy idea about building a major research, industrial, economic research park in the middle of the Pine Forest between three great universities. The other idea, and this was the idea that was based on the notion at that time, we were textiles, we were tobacco, we were furniture, and not much else. And if we wanted to be more than that, we had to have some type of system to educate and train our people, North Carolinians, for those jobs that we hope to have. And that's how Wake Tech came to be. That's how many of the community colleges in North Carolina, they're now 58. But Wake Tech was one of the original, what was called Industrial Education Center. We were created, Governor Hodges' second big idea about creating a system to educate and train North Carolinians for the jobs that we hope to bring to North Carolina and grow in North Carolina. And that's how we came to be. So we're very, very tightly linked to the economy, to jobs, to career mobility. You'll hear us talk more and more about jobs than by most any other college, but it goes back to those roots. And we've come a long way since those days. I like to, the old tobacco slogan, we've come a long way, baby. We've come a long way, baby, since those days of tobacco, textiles, and furniture. And Wake Tech today, we see it in four different ways. One is how our geography. Wake Tech is now a college of 7 campuses and 2 training centers. If you ever drive around 440, you see a big Wake Tech. That's not even a campus. That's one of our big training centers. But we have 5 campuses now spread around, primarily around the 540. Our latest is Wake Tech East, which is about a 100-acre campus that we just opened, really for classes in August. So our first class is starting in August in Wendell. So we have 2 specialty campuses, public safety and healthcare education. We're the largest public safety and education provider in North Carolina. Law enforcement, fire, rescue, and health sciences. We're the biggest health science provider of education in Wake County. So our Perry Health Science Campus is contiguous to Wake Tech. And that makes us very big. So we have grown. This was the WRAL, that's in News Observer a few years ago. So you see us at 70,000. That's how many people we touch a year compared to other higher ed in research triangle area. Now, when we look at our students, we're counting a broad swath of students. So about 32,000 of those are going to be in our degree programs. So they're taking college degree programs. The vast majority are in non-degree. And they're taking either workforce skills training, and they come from all walks of life, or we also provide most of the literacy education, high school equivalency, numeracy, literacy. So that takes place through Wake Tech as well. Now here's something else about us that we're very proud of. And this is our return on investment. This is a big issue in higher ed. It used to be 10 years ago that 98% of parents in the United States wanted their kids to go to a 4-year university. Now that number is down to 50%. And the reason why is primarily because of cost and the impact on what they call wealth gap. And the issue is that for many students now, 10 years later after graduating, they're not making as much as it cost them to go to school 10 years previously. In fact, there was a national study by Georgetown that showed that of all colleges and universities in the United States, and over 30% of colleges and universities, more than 50% of their graduates 10 years later would have been better off having never gone there because they weren't making enough money to cover the debt they incurred 10 years ago. Now, Wake Tech, you don't acquire debt at Wake Tech because our costs are very low, but also the benefits of going to our college because we're so connected to jobs is very high. So if you look at the Georgetown study at Wake Tech, we're among the top 20% of all colleges and universities in the United States and top 10% in North Carolina for return on investment. The return on investment 10 years after graduating, having gone there 10 years earlier. We're very proud of that ROI. And then finally, another thing that makes us unique, before I tell you where we're going a little bit, we are highly connected to the economy in this region. Again, that's why we were created going back in the 1950s to help attract and bring jobs here and encourage those jobs to grow here. And so you will see us very connected with all the different projects, whether they're companies expanding or companies that are new to our area. This week you may hear about a company that is new to our area called Forge Battery, nanotechnology company, and we're very involved with them. And this week they're in the news. Siemens will be a little bit in the news. Wendell, we're working with them, or the biopharma. On February 1st of this year, there was an article that was in the Boston Globe. Now, a few months earlier, our Raleigh area had been named the #1 biopharma manufacturing hub in the United States by JLN. And Boston did a little research on that. And on February 1st, there was an article in the Boston Globe that had this hand-wringing headline that said, a looming threat to Boston's biotech dominance 700 miles away. Now, the folks at Boston could not bring themselves to admit that our universities were as good as their universities. You know, they've got Harvard and MIT. But they did say this. They said North Carolina has education strengths too, particularly when it comes to training blue-collar workers for highly skilled jobs, which is exactly what biomanufacturing facilities are looking for. Massachusetts is working on this too, with their apprenticeship and training program, but North Carolina has taken it to another level. And you can see that in our work right now with companies that have been here, like CSM Securus, GlaxoSmithKline, and GSK, but also we're very, very involved with Fujifilm Diosynth Biotechnologies, which is building a $3.2 billion facility in Holland Springs, or Amgen is right behind it in terms of its scale. So we're intimately involved with them, providing the education for about 2/3 of the workforce that will work at these facilities. So those are things that are unique about us, driven by our history. Now, let me tell you a little bit about where we're going, but I have to then refer back to history and let you know something else about us. So when we became community colleges, we did so based on a motto, a mantra, a man named Dallas Herring, who was the chair of the Board of Education at that time. And as we moved from industrial education centers, we moved to community colleges with a goal that in North Carolina, the opportunity to go beyond high school should not be based on where you live. It should not be based on how much money you have. That's why our tuition is so low. That's why there are 58 community colleges in North Carolina, so that everybody has a shot, regardless of what your circumstances were. And so we operate on a mantra that goes back to those days, that was take people where they are, carry them as far as they can go. We're a unique type of higher education. You know, some higher education, Duke University, everybody knows Duke all around the world. Well, you know, Duke turns away 94% of the people who apply. They have a 6% acceptance rate. And Wake Tech, we take the top 100% of everybody who applies. We're very, very proud of it. There's a place for everybody who wants to come to Wake Tech, and as long as you work hard, you know, you got to work your way out of Wake Tech, but you don't have to work your way in. We want it to be as easy as possible for you to get into Wake Tech. That's who we are. Now, we still, though, given all these things, we have a unique challenge here in Wake County, and it is this. So if you look at everything about us economically, we're in the top 5 of everything you want to be. You know, I told you we're #1 in biopharma manufacturing. You know, we're the second fastest growing community in the United States behind Austin right now. You know, everything is great except for one thing. You gotta look behind Athens. You know, people talk about Carolina State, it's bad football, particularly for Carolina like me. I graduated from Carolina in 1986. And in that year, geography majors had the highest average starting salaries of all the graduates in my class. And that's because one of those graduates, one of my classmates signed a shoe contract and a basketball contract that totally skewed all of that. So I used to teach that you gotta look behind the average. We may be average, but there's some other challenges behind that. The challenge for us is this. While we rank among the best in terms of our overall economy, we rank among the lowest in the country. 94% of other counties are better than us in economic mobility. The likelihood that if you grew up poor as a child in Wayne County, you'll grow up poor as an adult.
And for us, that just seems completely wrong with all this opportunity, with everything that we have in Wake County. And the challenge is, parts of Wake County are booming. The closer you are to Research Triangle Park, that area, and you look at the blue areas are booming, but you get a little other places not doing as well. So at Wake Tech, we've kind of taken that on as our mission. Higher ed, as I said, help build this region. It's a big part. Many of us, you may be here because you came here to go to college. A lot of people are that way. People across the country, they don't necessarily flock to Wake Tech to go to school here. But more people are going to go through us than any other college or university in this region or the state. 75% of our students are from Wake County. The other 25% are from the neighboring counties. And they're going to stay here. The question is not where they came from or where they're going to live afterwards. It's what they're going to do out. And so while we may not be the magnet that pulls everybody in, we think more so than any other institution, we're the ladder to pull people up. But given the challenges that are there, we got to double down on that. We don't change at all who we are. We re-emphasize who we are. And so we're doing that through different types of strategies. One of the things is we kind of changed our vision somewhat. And we used some words at Wake Tech. So I told you that old model that we have, take people where they are, carry them as far as they can go. We felt like we can't just do that. We have to tweak that a little bit. We have to up that a little bit. So we can't just wait for students to get to us. We have to reach out, particularly in communities and areas where economically they may need us the most. And we have to change our strategies in different ways. Not just carrying students, we never carry anybody across the graduation stage, but uniquely, because many of our students are lower income, we have to rally around them with different types of support structures. And so you hear terms at Wake Tech, we always say reach, we say rally, we say ladder, and we use those as our strategies. And this is what that means in some ways. So when we say reach, if we're going to have a greater impact on economic mobility, we have to go into places more where we have not been as much as we should. And we do that in different ways. One is when we're building facilities. So our new East Wake campus is across the highway from the Title I High School in one of those very red areas of Wake County, where the income is lower and the college going rate for the high schools in that area is about 50% compared to 90% in the Cary Apex region. So that's the reason why we're there. Impact, but it's also the fastest growing area in Carolina. We're working with partners. We're not going to reach students who need us the most just by throwing up billboards in certain places. So our partnerships, we call them our reach partners. So you see there the Boys and Girls Club. So we have embedded a workforce specialists at the Boys and Girls Club. We work with community schools, Juntos, different organizations like that, as well as the Title I high schools. And then our strategies around rallies. We bring the resources to them that they need in a unique way. One of the ways is through what we call care centers. So housing assistance is very much a part of that. Food pantries. We have food pantries on every campus. Emergency aid, our REACH fund, our Rally fund that Matt and Stephanie raised so much money for. How do we make it so students can come into us? And what happens with community college students too often is that something that's $500 or less will cause them to stop out. But when they stop out, our statistics show typically they drop out. So we try to prevent the stop outs through our care centers, our care teams. And then the other unique thing that we're doing is we call ourselves the ladder. And the challenge, particularly for working adults, is they've got to find something that can give them a foothold in college, but also something that allows them to work while going to college. Most of our students work, 2/3 of our students work while they're going to college. So we try to make apprenticeship very much a part of our college. We have over 150 apprenticeship partners in our community in terms of companies, and we work very diligently on that apprenticeship programs that we have. Working in terms of programs that are short-term programs like bio. I'm proud of this picture on the left because those are 5 individuals from Dorcas Ministries who were formerly homeless. When they completed graduation, completed a 132-hour biopharma program that will allow them to walk into and be hired at a biotech company, but then also carry 8 hours of credit into our biopharma degree. And then our partnership with the university. NC State is our biggest transfer site, but we have it so that every degree we have, even degrees like automotive tech, have one or more four-year partners. And in some cases, ECU, Elizabeth City State, they're on our campuses. So Jalen Wilson, who was there, he was the first student last year who graduated from ECU without ever leaving Wake Tech. First time he went to Wake Tech was to go to Greenville to pick up his diploma. So reaching and Raleigh and Ladder, those are our strategies to address this economic mobility challenge that we find. And again, I'll go back, we're very connected to jobs and careers. And that's what keeps us connected to the opportunities, because really it's about career mobility. We're an education institution, we're higher ed, but we're built around jobs. And thanks to your support of Wake Tech, if you're a Wake Tech resident, you support the taxes that supported the bond campaign that Wake County residents voted for at 70%. And here's what we're doing with that, and here's what makes it unique. So we're putting it into the jobs that keep our community running. These are the technicians that are out there. Uniquely, you see on the top there is our Center for Building Technologies. Our Hendricks Center, Automotive Excellence, is one of the best automotive facilities you will find in the country. Wake Tech is uniquely in the lead in terms of energy efficiency. Solar is part of our electrical programs. EV is part of our automotive programs. We're probably one of the best, if not the best college in terms of connecting energy efficiency into our technical programs. The jobs that keep our community safe and healthy. Again, we're the largest trainer in education for law enforcement officers, firefighters, rescue. One of the facilities there is our new public safety simulation facility, one of the most unique facilities in the country, where things are reenacted on a daily basis that we never want to happen here. But if and when they do, our firefighters, our law enforcement, our school resource officers and others, our state troopers and others are trained and have seen those situations in a way. And the building we'll build next, this is a big effort, a big growth for our healthcare campus. We're partnering with WakeMed and Wake County on a major expansion of all our campuses there. And this is a $100 million simulated hospital. About half of it will be a simulated hospital. We'll also be greatly expanding our nursing and our imaging program. Someday, you'll have a simulation that takes place in public safety, maybe a mass shooting scenario. And it'll go all the way to the simulation that takes place at the hospital with it. And that'll be the first time in the country anything like that has happened. And then finally, again, going back to the economy, keeping our economy growing. Biotech, like on the bottom here, our Lilly Center for Technology, supported by the Eli Lilly Company, which is big in Research Triangle Park, and what will be our new Advanced Technology Center in automation, robotics, biopharma, mechatronics. So jobs that keep our community running, jobs that help us stay safe and healthy, jobs that keep our economy strong and growing. That's what Wake Tech is about. The Wake Tech is about opportunities to work in those jobs. That, as I like to say, Wake County runs on Wake Tech, but Wake County runs on the people like Shakima and others who came through Wake Tech, keep our companies and keep our economy strong. That's what we're about. So thank you for allowing me to be here. I'll be glad to take any questions if there's time.
We have some time for some questions, so please speak up.
We've talked a lot about, thank you. You've talked a lot about more tech stuff, but I would love to know about the apprenticeship with early ed and how that's the child.
Yeah, so in terms of early childhood education, in college, North Carolina have a unique role. In terms of the requirements to work in early childhood now, you have to go through the community college program. So our early childhood programs have always been a big part of that. You're talking about your sister, Sherry Moore, the Craven, is a leader in that in the early days because of that connection that's been there. We don't have an apprenticeship, but well, they have an early childhood apprenticeship. I'll have to double check. We're growing into some new areas, and I know there's been some conversation, so we may have been there, but Wake County, Wake Tech has always been very, very involved in that. One of the things we continue to explore, we'd love to have a childhood center all on our campus. We did years ago. We actually have a building that was built for that. But the challenge with childcare now, and for us, colleges were not able to keep their sustainable because of, to build the buildings, but we could not reduce the cost so that our students or our faculty could afford to use them. So that's been a challenge here. I think it's one of the biggest things we can do. If we ever wanted to impact education, I build massive childcare centers on community college campuses. Some people talk about free college. I think if we had big childcare centers on our campuses, they would have even more impact. But we've been very involved and we'll continue to do.
How large is the student population for the kids that go there in their junior year in high school?
So this year we'll have 4,500 Wayne County High School students who are in high school taking college courses. And most of those are through dual enrollment, so meaning in their junior or their senior year, they can take free of charge college classes with us. Most of them will not come to us. Now, many of them will, but many of them will go on to the universities. We have a unique articulation agreement with UNC system as well as 2/3 of the privates. So you know that your courses will transfer. So a lot of students are taking courses in high school that will eventually transfer to the university for them. And then we also have 4 early college high schools. So high schools that are in partnership where you earn a 2-year degree either while you're in high school or with 1 additional year. So 2 are off-site, Vernon Malone High School, Vernon Malone downtown, Northway College and Career Academy, and 2 are on our campuses. We have a healthcare early college on our health science campus, and the newest is Wayne Early College of Information and Biotechnology on our RTP campus. And they have about 400 student population at those high schools. So about 1,600 of the 4,500 are in specialty high schools.
What's the impact or is an impact on the Toyota battery plant near Greensboro and the VinFast car?
Yeah. So you got this unique thing that's happening between Liberty, where Toyota is, and then if you go up to Raleigh Springs, that is a 1-hour shot. And you're just seeing mega growth in advanced manufacturing, starting with the Toyota battery factory, which has about 5,000, maybe 7,000 rows right now. Then right beside it's Wolfspeed, the big semiconductor. Keep moving up. VinFast has been slowed down a little bit, so we'll have to watch and see what's going to happen with VinFast. They moved from 2026 to 2028. And then you move into Holly Springs, and all of a sudden you hit Fujifilm, Dyson, that's 1,400 jobs. Amgen's about 800 right now. So that's mega growth. So what's happening is we're all working together. And that's why you see a lot of emphasis on this kind of very unique form of advanced manufacturing, which is a whole different type of it's not great. It's not what we used to do with the old textile furniture. It's very much clean room, and we're a real leader in both biotech and EV for the country. So we get pulled into a lot of these projects, even though they're not in Wayne County.
I was very interested in talk about the nanotechnology partnership. Which one are you thinking the most excited about for the next several years, 3 to 5 years?
I'm most excited about a conversation we'll have later. So I can't tell you about it right now. So let's come back. But I think one of the things that's been really unique happening over the last 4 years that is going to keep accelerating is this whole life science, biotech really. Our life science programs have grown 4-fold in that. And we could grow 4 times more, and there would still be the jobs out there. And I'm excited about not just how much it's growing, but how it is growing as well. So, for instance, we now have 21 students at Idale High School, which is a Title I high school, taking the bio workforce, which after high school would make it eligible to work at one of these companies and keep moving on. So I'm very excited about that particular area. And also when we look at, all the things that people talk about AI, having that, you can't work from home or AI drug production. Now, it is going to be impacted certainly but in terms of the people and the location, we're becoming quite the hub in this area. that's a good thing for us long term. So you can see the move that's taking place in Hot Springs, it continues to open RTP. And what I'm excited to see is it move east of Raleigh, you're gonna see, you know, moving into East Wade, and then all the to Wilson, Edgecombe, Franklin, and other areas.
All right, thank you, Scott. Thank you. I wanted to thank you by sharing with you our Rotary Club of Raleigh Coffee Mug. With all that you're doing, I suspect there's a lot of coffee that gets drunk during that time. So I gotta ask you, just a theoretical reason, if you don't really have to do it. Who thought they didn't wait that coming in here with Burnett to go up? Who now realizes you didn't know hardly anything about that? So there you go, listen, it's a fantastic program, along with the good made to the institution itself, and it's great programs impacting our community. People are Rotary people, action, so that impacts community. It's interesting, some connections. Luther Hodges, who started this whole concept of education, as well as research around the park, was a Rotarian. And so there's that connection. And then you mentioned Fujifilm and biosec technologies. That was one of our earlier speakers this year, Claire Smith, from a very important. So a lot of connections with what's going on. So yeah, we're going to say before we test in just a moment and dismiss ourselves, but one more time, I should do thank you for that. Thank you, but congratulations on the recognition, you have well-deserved recognition and courage. And then Maddie, if you are comfortable with it, and the time to be positioned sort of close to the door so people can congratulate you on the way out. And Rotarians know who would be to do that as well, that would be great, okay? So let's all stand for the 4-week chat. Things we think, say, and do. We are adjourned.